Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Faryal and we are here with our series Emotional Wellbeing Matter. Today we are going to talk about taking control of your life. And before we talk about how to take control of our life, let's go to some basic social psychology theories that explains behavior. So let's talk about the attribution theory. It's a social psychology theory and it's a way we try to interpret the behaviors. What are the plausible causes of the behaviors that we encounter? So attribution theory says, let's first understand that it makes a certain inferences about the possible causes of the behaviors that we see around us, people making, and even about our own behavior. So we give them plausible causes, and in a nutshell, if we see certain observation around us, and then we on the basis of those observation of the behavior of the people, we give some interpretations, and on the basis of these interpretation we conclude some attributes. अब attributes क्या होते हैं कि attributes are those factors that cause the behavior in our perception. So it's all perception based, and the interpretation that we give is at the three level. One is distinctiveness, the other is consensus, and then consistency. So let's say that there is a wedding function going on, and as it has happened to me so many times that when we go to the wedding and we are almost the first one to go there, even before the the host are there. So distinctiveness means that is this the behavior that you see in a wedding? So there is a person who comes late to the wedding. So is this a distinctive behavior? It was just a one-shot thing. Let's say the host come late to the wedding. So it's very difficult situation because they were supposed to greet all the guests. So is this a distinctive behavior, or something happened, some emergency happened, so they are late? And then there is a consensus that if everybody was coming late to the wedding, maybe there was some sort of a roadblock or something. Culturally it is thought to be a norm. And then there is a consistency that some people are prone to go late. I mean, they are very laid back and very chill, and they don't care that reaching somebody's wedding on time is important. So after that, there are two other attribute and causes. One is internal factors. We call these dispositional factors. These internal factors that is peculiar to a person. And then there are certain situational factors which we call external factors. So that brings us to this, which we call fundamental attribution error. Man inherently is very biased. Man inherently is very biased, and whenever it happens that some sort of anomaly, behavior that occurs, we tend to judge a person, overestimate their dispositional, their internal factors, and underestimate the situational factors, especially in organizational setting, in workplace setting. In teams, whenever something goes wrong with the person, especially the bosses and the colleagues, they tend to say that if this failure or this thing didn't go well has happened, it's because of the internal factors of that person. Maybe that person is incompetent. They do not take care of the environmental factor. So this is an inherent bias in which exists in almost all of us. And conversely, when something bad happens to us, we try to overestimate the situational factors and underestimate the internal factors. So if something bad happens, if we do some folly, we try to attribute that factor to the environment, that he didn't support me well, my colleague didn't support me well, so this is the reason that I failed. So man is biased by nature, and we need to understand that. So whenever we are talking about taking control of our life, so let's first understand what control is. Control is a power, and like we say in was it Spider-Man, that with great power comes great responsibility? And I would say that with great responsibility, when you have, especially in your organization, when you have great responsibility, then comes great power as well. So power, what is control? Let's define control. Control is the power to determine outcome by directly influencing actions, people and event. So when you can directly influence the actions, that's where the power lies. And when you put that word locus of control, so what does it locus mean? Locus is just a position, a point of a place, location of that power. So a very close concept with attribution is the locus of control. So locus of control is the mindset actually. What does that mean? Mindset means that either it could be internal locus of control or either it could be external locus of control. For those people who put internal locus of control, and let me tell you, it's a general preference towards either side. Either you're internally, in some situation you place internal locus of control, and some situation you might place external locus of control, exhibit these qualities. So we all tend to exhibit, and we both have this qualities, but we tend to exhibit preference for that. So it is something, it's like a mindset, and it can be changed, and we can develop this mindset through internal and external. So what this mindset with where people have this external locus of control, so whatever happens, they attribute the causes to the external environment. Like we said that when we were talking about attribution theory, we place it to the situational context, that it is just because I didn't get the good team, I didn't get the good resources, my friends kept me way late, and my alarm clock doesn't work on time, so I was late, I was not prepared, I had to do that. So instead of taking the responsibility for the behavior, you are more inclined to put the blame to somebody else. So this is what people who have a general tendency for external locus of control does. And then comes internal locus of control. Internal locus of control is that you understand that your actions are directly affected by what you do. So this is where the power lies, when you understand that if bad things has happened to you over the time, if you were responsible for those bad things, then the good thing that are going to happen, you can be responsible for that as well. So it's very liberating, it's powerful to know that if you were responsible for the bad thing, then you can certainly manifest the good thing in your life as well. So this is a mindset that you need to change, and you need to understand before you start talking about taking control of your life. So Sigmund Freud said a very deep thing, and we really need to reflect on that. He said that most people do not want freedom. Why? Because it requires responsibility, and most people are afraid of taking responsibility. So have you ever thought that why people are so emotionally attached to their mentors and a certain political party, and they're so dependent on validation for others? Because they don't want to take control of their own life. It's hard work, it's a responsibility, and then you have nobody to blame it. I heard this joke, and they say that you must get married because there are a lot of things that go wrong. You can't just blame everything on the government. There has to be a person that you blame everything on. So that was, jokes apart, we have to take responsibility, and like I said, that greater responsibility has greater power, like the famous saying goes. But whenever you are given a power, there is responsibility, we knew it, but whenever you have a lot of responsibilities, then you are very powerful as well. So power and responsibility go hand in hand. So they go hand in hand, and we need to understand that it's important that do we really want to be liberated, and when we want to be liberated, when we are talking about freedom, like the segment Freud said, we are afraid. So let's not be afraid. If we think about it, there is a concept of Japanese concept of ikigai, and I'm going to talk about it in some subsequent lecture in detail. In a nutshell, let me ask you something. When we talk about taking responsibility, and we need to understand the motivation behind it. So ikigai, one of the basic concept of ikigai is, it's a Japanese philosophy that says that what makes you drive up, what drives you to wake up in the morning and be very energetic and very motivated about it. So this is why you see most of the youth and most of the people during quarantine are very depressed, because they don't have anything to look forward to when they wake up. So their lifestyles has changed. The things that they had planned are not in their control right now. Control is an illusion as well. You can't control everything around yourself. The only thing you have control is the way you think about things. So you need to understand this thing, that the only control you have is to think about the way you can handle the thing. You can never control the world around you. So it's just not like cartoon movies, super villain whose only job, wish is to control the world. So you are not a super villain. You can't control stuff around you. All you can control is your reactions to it, of the situations, and how you think about the situation. The same situation can be different. Like locus of control, if you start blaming the environment for your shortcomings, then you are never going to improve. You don't have that mindset of improving yourself. So how are you going to take control of your life if you are always playing these blame games? So taking control of your life is not that difficult. Making a decision, a choice of decision, making a choice to take control of your life is difficult. Staying motivated is difficult. So if you are trying to change some habit, there are, like they say, that if you practice that habit for 42 days, it is ingrained. Like if you have disrupted your sleep cycle and you really want to take control of your sleep right now, so break that chore of getting up in a segment of 10 days, like 30 days, and then the last 12 days would be pretty easy. So the hardest would be the first 10 days, when you have to recycle, revamp your sleep cycle. So if you have been sleeping like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., you can't expect to wake up at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. or maybe 8 a.m. So you have to, prepare a night before if you want to go to bed, rise up early. So these are small choices that you make, self-discipline. And there are certain downsides to each internal locus of control and external locus of control. The people who have external tendency towards external locus of control, they do not accept responsibility. Whereas the people who have a very high internal locus of control, they are very hard on themselves. And psychology says that the people who do a lot of introspection are very miserable people. So because they are very critical, and they think that whatever they did is not good enough. So you have to strike a balance here. You have to pat yourself for your good things, and you have to evaluate the things that then go well. You don't have to beat yourself. If something didn't work out, maybe it will work out the next time. So you have to create a data and analyze how you can improve the thing. So habits are formed gradually, and you just have to train your mind. You have to just train yourself, and first of all you have to have the right attitude for that, because attitudes converts into behaviors. And before attitudes, I'm going to talk about it in some subsequent lectures, about how our belief system is actually the culprit behind our behaviors. So behaviors are never the problem. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, behaviors are just an expression of the problem. So the problem is always underneath the behavior. if you can't go to sleep, maybe you're anxious or something. So it's not the going to sleep is the problem, it's the thought process, your activity in the mind, that is the problem, and the causes behind those anxiousness or the thoughts that you that are keeping you awake. So these are the things that you really need to be working on. So taking control of your life and taking internal locus of control, and these dispositional characteristics and the attribution theories that are internal, consistent, because character is something that is everything can change. Your surrounding, your attribution, your anything that is given to you can change, but your personal character. हज़रत अली का एक कौल है कि अगर कोई बंदा कहे कि पहाड़ चलकर आ गया तो मैं मान लूँगा, बट शायद कोई कहे कि किसी बंदे की फितरत बदल गई तो वो मैं नहीं मानूँगा. आई डोंट नो द ऑथेंटिसिटी ऑफ दैट, बट it really makes a lot of sense. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, बहुत हो गया हमने अपने आप को, अपनी एनवायरनमेंट को, कोविड को, कि मैं ये नहीं कर सका, अपना मेरा ये फेलियर इसकी वजह से हुआ, मुझे वालिदैन स्ट्रिक्ट मिले, मुझे टीचर्स अच्छे नहीं मिले, मुझे बॉसेस अच्छे नहीं मिले, मुझे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिली, उसने मेरे साथ ज़्यादती कर दी, उसने ये कर दिया. तो स्टॉप दिस ब्लेम गेम. कुरान पाक में क्या अल्लाह कभी किसी के साथ ये गलत कह सकते हैं? अल्लाह पाक ने कहा कि जो आपको भलाई आती है वो अल्लाह की तरफ से आती है और बुराई इंसान की अपनी कमाई भी होती है. तो ये लोकस ऑफ कंट्रोल का जो इंटरनल लोकस ऑफ कंट्रोल का कॉन्सेप्ट है, दैट्स एन इस्लामिक कॉन्सेप्ट एज वेल. सो ये तो कुरान में बारहा कहा कि जो इंसान को बुराई आती है उसकी अपनी कमाई भी होती है. सो यू क्रिएट दोज सर्कमस्टांसेस, यू क्रिएट, अगर आप यू हैव नॉट बीन वेरी केयरफुल एंड सम एक्सीडेंट्स हैपन, कुछ तकदीर भी है इसमें. लेट्स नॉट गो इनटू द इंट्रिकेसीज ऑफ दैट फेथ एंड ऑल दैट, बट हमें ये बात मान लेना चाहिए कि जो हमारा नसीब है हम उस पर शाकिर हो जाएं, और जो हमारे पर बुराई आ रही है उसमें हम एक रिफ्लेक्ट अपॉन करें कि व्हाट वाज आवर रोल इन मैनिफेस्टिंग दैट. बिकॉज हमारी थॉट्स जो हैं आर लाइक, आई ऑलवेज से, आई रियली कोट देयर अगेन एंड अगेन, दे आर लाइक लिविंग थिंग्स, दे मैनिफेस्ट व्हाट हैपन्स इन आवर लाइफ. कुछ लोग इसको लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन भी कहते हैं, कुछ को इसको कार्मा भी कहते हैं, एंड देयर आर सर्टेन माइंड साइंसेस कॉन्सेप्ट्स बिहाइंड इट. जैसे आपके जो चक्रास हैं, इफ़ दे आर नॉट बैलेंस्ड तो आपकी ज़िंदगी में भी इम्बैलेंसेस आ जाएंगे. सो दिस इज़ काइंड ऑफ एनर्जी हीलिंग सॉर्ट ऑफ अ थिंग दैट यू क्रिएट. If you have negative energies inside you, you're going to attract negative energies. So this is the time to realize बहुत सारी चीज़ें हमारे अपने हाथ में हैं, लिटरली हमारे हाथ में. जैसे कोरोना से बचना भी अभी हमारे हाथ में है. फिज़िकल डिस्टेंस रखें, अपनी इम्यूनिटी पे अच्छा रखें, अपनी मेंटल वेलबींग, इमोशनल वेलबींग, अपनी होलिस्टिक वेलबींग की तरफ जाएं. I am an advocate of emotional well-being, but emotional well-being basically is a concept of holistic well-being, because there are certain foods, your inactivity आपके brain में कुछ ऐसे chemicals produce करती है जिससे आपको stress, tension and anxiety ज़्यादा होती हैं. Similarly, a certain kind of food disrupts your, so your mental, your emotional well-being is a very holistic approach for your overall health. It is connected with your spirituality because it starts with your belief system. सो ये जो इमोशनल वेलबींग है, इसको आपका एक अलग चीज़ नहीं है कि आप सिंपली इमोशनल वेलबींग की एक पिल खा लेंगे एंड यू विल बी इमोशनली हेल्दी. नो, दैट डजंट वर्क लाइक दैट. इट्स हार्ड वर्क. इट्स अबाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग योर ओन सेल्फ एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग द पीपल अराउंड यू, एंड बी काइंड एंड बी फेयर. जहाँ पर आप किसी का हक मारेंगे आपको कैसे अच्छी नींद आ सकेगी. तो इन दी एंड अपना बहुत ख्याल रखें. लेट्स ट्राई टू take control of our life. Let's make our life better for ourselves and for the people around us. And may Allah पाक हमें इस calamity में से निकाले और आप लोगों को बहुत कामयाबी अता फरमाए. Take really good care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.